take me into the day where you first smoked weed. What was, did you wake up that day saying, "Man, I'm gonna smoke weed today"? It probably didn't happen that way, but you probably met someone. I mean, I want to step back for a second when you say the gateway drug. I think it gets you in contact with people who then have other connections to other drugs, which is like why I think they call it a gateway drug. I don't think like weed makes you do heroin.
Right.
I think it just gets you in contact. If I'm not smoking weed, I probably don't know the heroin dealer.
Sure.
But
you don't talk about drugs in general with that person.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But that day, I mean, had you known this guy for a while who just had weed on him, or were you just,
did you have weed and decide
plant?
I was gonna do it?
Yeah, picking a plant. You were like, yeah, I'm gonna smoke this today. What was
No, it was through friends, my little high school friends, but they weren't really friends at that time, and that was a part of it too, was to have something to do with the group of people. And yeah, what it was like, like I said, I hated it at first because it kind of brought everything that I was feeling to the surface. And
but what were you feeling, right? So someone hands it over to you, or maybe like an hour before you met up with them. I mean, what was like, what was the vibe? I mean, where was your headspace at where you said, yes, I'm going to use this. I'm going to smoke this with you guys.
I was excited.
Oh, you were excited.
Yes. Yeah, I was excited to do it. Because I don't know why. I was desperate for something.
Something that was like the here and now that you were feeling and everything, right? Something to pull you away.
I was desperate for something, and I saw other people had this experience and seemed to, have some kind of freedom from it. I wanted to feel that, and it was something that I didn't have to try at. It wasn't something. Getting high wasn't something you could fail at. Right. If you take this substance, it will get you high. Right. There's nothing in between that, the me that fucks everything up is going to be able to fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is it all right if I curse?
I'm going to mute it out, but yes, it is.
Okay, forgive me. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Oh, no, you're fine. I obviously want you to express yourself.
Yeah, and I'm terrible, so like.
And we have a swear jar going on.
Yeah, because I'm that bad. So and
yeah.
Tom's not great himself. I've just been really bad today.
Yeah.
So we have a swear jar. We're maintaining each other's swears as we go about this process. Now, when did you realize? So with weed, just in particular, because I want to start with the first drug that you really started to use. Some people, I would say most people, can smoke weed and then play soccer, and weed is something that they do. It's not who they are. When did you realize? Because you saw that everyone was having a good time and they were all friends, and that was normal, and you want to be a part of that. But then all of a sudden, you almost became the outcast. I would assume to some degree, by the way that you kind of said that. Of even the weed smokers, everyone was like, "Oh wow, that guy is even worse than us." When did you kind of see that?
Oh, immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Wow. Immediately, yeah. Immediately when I started, when everybody would split up for the night and okay, see you later, and I would take it home.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I didn't have any money. I would save a roach or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the difference for me, was when I brought it home, and immediately I was using it alone, and immediately I was kind of it meant something more to me than it did to all these people I was taking it with.
It was no longer like a social thing where you're like meeting up with the homies to like smoke a joint. You were like, I'm gonna get high on my way home, or when I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that as well, but yeah, it was still a social thing, and it was acceptable to smoke weed all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't a casual thing from the beginning.